Welcome to another episode. In this episode, we will see the answer to the question: how can I make my mind 100% accurate? Question is: how can I make my 100% accurate? That is perfect. How your mind can be perfect? No, you can't make your mind perfect. This perfection is another illusion, which we will see that in another episode. To make the mind perfect or 100% accurate is impossible, because mind is a mechanism made by thoughts. Mind itself is not there. It is a bundle of thoughts, your memories, your experiences, which you have gained over a period of time, your thoughts, your convictions, your bringing up, your education. All that memories in the brain form is what is called mind. And any mechanism cannot be 100% accurate, because it receives inputs from various senses. The brain processes all the senses. The inputs itself we are not seeing 100%. We are taking the inputs of what we want, not everything. It is impossible. There are millions of inputs which is available surrounding us. That what is required, we take. And that is being processed according to our own bringing up, memories and experience, and then used to make a decision. So that is based on our conditioning. So it cannot be perfect. You can improve the results by learning and practice, developing your skills. But it can never be perfect. For an action to be perfect, you have to go beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts. So we will see a quote from J.Krishnamurti from his lectures in India in 1959. After all, the mind is the only instrument we have. It is the mind that perceives, that thinks, that calculates, that desires, that communicates, that penetrates, that creates its own blockages, that tries to fulfill itself and finds frustration, misery. It is the mind that is ambitious and ruthless, affectionate and sympathetic. It is the mind that knows pleasure and pain, love and hate, that takes delight in beauty. So unless we understand this extraordinary thing called mind, we shall have little basis for rational, clear and perceptive thinking. Thinking plays a very large part in our life, does it not? It covers almost the whole field of our existence. That is why it is important to understand the mind, from which thinking emanates. The mind is the source of our thought, of our feeling, of perception, our awareness. It shapes our relationship with society, with nature, with each other. So without understanding the mind, any change we bring about in our thinking will have little meaning. The mind is the result of the brain. The brain produces the mind. Without the brain, there is no mind. But the mind is separate from the brain. The mind, as we know it, is conditioned by the past. The past moving through the present to the future conditions the mind. And this conditioned mind, being in conflict, in trouble, being fearful, uncertain, seeks something beyond the frontiers of time. To find reality, mind must transform itself. It must go beyond itself. And unless the mind is capable of receiving reality, it cannot resolve the innumerable problems that confront us in our daily life. It can adjust itself, defend itself, it can take refuge temporarily, But life is all time challenging the defenses that you so sedulously carefully build around yourself. So mind can defend itself, take a refuge temporarily, but life is challenging one. All these differences. Life challenges. Life is the reality. So understand this, why mind cannot be perfect. What mind is made of, how it works, we have seen it from J.Krishnamurti. So don't try to make mind perfect. You can practice and make it better. But some action to be perfect, you have to go beyond the thoughts, beyond the mind, into reality. So with this we will end this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.